and I'd put my wife through so much trauma and so much hell that she didn't know what to do. Like there was a level of confusion that she had in her world that she didn't know if she should stay with me, if she should leave. It resulted in this piece of her being what I call flip-flopping, where she would be one day be, I'm out of the relationship, I'm done. And the next day she'd be like, no, I think we can make this work. And that would go on and on and on and back and forth. And I remember writing about it because I got so pissed off. I got pissed off because she couldn't figure it out. She couldn't make a decision. Not because I was going to make a decision. I didn't want to make a decision. I wanted it to be her fault, her responsibility, her problem. So I'd sit back and I would wait for her to make a decision, and then I'd get mad when she wouldn't make a decision. Do you want to be with me? Do you not want to be with me? If you don't want to be with me, why haven't you already left yet? Why haven't you already moved on? What's the big deal? What's the problem? Would say all different types of things to be able to push her down, to destroy her, to communicate how she wasn't living up to whatever standard that I was trying to throw out there. But I also wasn't willing to make a decision. I wasn't willing to stay committed. I wasn't willing to be honest. I wasn't willing to actually show up as a man. And as a result, she continued to flip-flop. At times being ready to leave and then getting breadcrumb back, thinking maybe he's not going to change. And then I would tell her that I would change. And then she would stay a little bit longer. This piece of confusion produced this flip-flopping effect, back and forth, back and forth. Should I leave? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I not? Should I move out? Should I not? Like all of these things kept going back and forth in her head, confusing her and leaving her stuck. And there's a piece of me that liked it because I was still in control of it. I was still in control of her. I was still in control of the situation. And there was a piece of me that hated it because there was no resolution. There was no me getting out of it. I was still stuck in the chaos. I was still stuck in the middle of the entire relationship, and it kept going to shit, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do because I had to keep pretending that I was going to change, and then I wouldn't, and then I'd go back and forth because I was the one flip-flopping. The whole thing inside of it, I remember writing down how pissed off I was at my wife flip-flopping back and forth, of her not making a decision, of her not just deciding whether she wanted to be with me or not. But I conditioned her for such a long period of time to be in a trauma state that making a decision like that was impossible. There's no way she was ever going to make a decision like that because of how much I put her through, how much confusion she was under on a daily basis, how many times she tried to leave and then I was begging her to stay, and how many times she stayed and I was telling her to leave. All of this put her in a confused state that didn't let her make decisions. In fact, it only just left her stuck with me more and more. There's a piece of me that hated that because I wanted her to leave, so that I wouldn't be the bad guy. So I would be the guy who had it all together. So I would be the guy that could tell other people and other fair partners that, oh, my wife left me. So I could play the victim. So I could show up and be like, oh, yeah, poor me. Simply because my wife was the one that left me. And all of these things continue to happen, and I continue to get pissed off longer and longer and longer simply because my wife wouldn't make a decision. What you see a lot of times in toxic and manipulative relationships is the guy doesn't want to make a decision because then he has to own his decision. I didn't want to own who I was. I didn't want to own the reality that I was a cheater, that I was a liar, that I was mentally and emotionally abusive and manipulative. I didn't want to own those things. I just wanted my wife to leave so that I could get out of the relationship, so I could be, quote unquote, free from her, so I could go cheat and go be with whoever I wanted to be at that point, with no consequences, with no repercussions. I wanted what I wanted, just to fulfill my carnal desires and live out how I wanted to live, regardless if that meant hurting my wife or damaging my daughter. I didn't care. The guy in your life is doing the same thing simply because he doesn't care about you. He's not willing to shift his world. He's not willing to own up and actually be honest about what he's done. He's not willing to tell the truth about himself, to himself, of the things, how he's lied, how he's manipulated, maybe how he's cheated on you. He's not willing to change that. And he's not willing to change that for you because he's not willing to change it for himself. Many times I wanted to sit there and watch her leave so I could feel better about myself, but I didn't want her to leave and feel bad about myself at the same time. It was this back and forth, this constant internal battle, even in my head, of how do I figure out, how do I get out of the relationship and still look like a good guy? That oftentimes is what a narcissist is trying to do. How does he make you quit, make you leave, make you give up on him and still get what he wants? It puts you in this weird limbo state, this place where you flip-flop back and forth because you can't make a decision. You have no clarity inside of your world. It's just run off of chaos, off of confusion, and you absolutely feel crazy because you don't know what to do. This is not by happenstance. This is not by accident. This is intentional because he's not willing to actually own up to anything. He's not willing to own up to who he is, to what's happening inside of his world. If you're in a relationship like this, it's not going to change. Instead, he wants to be able to have you be the bad guy. You have to be the bad guy so that he's not. You have to take all of the flack so he doesn't feel like the bad guy at all. He's trying to make sure to be able to blame you, to be able to shift it on you so that it feels better for him than worse for you. When you're in a relationship like this, you get so confused, you get so lost that you don't make a move and you don't do anything. You just stay, thinking maybe it'll get better, hoping and praying it'll somehow shift. But ultimately what it does is just leave you trapped long term. If you're a woman that's stuck in a toxic relationship like this, or you're trying to heal on the aftermath of one and all the confusing decisions that you've already made or that you tried to figure out in the moment, then this message is for you. I work with women who feel crazy, who feel confused, who feel stuck in the chaos in or outside the relationship, not knowing how to heal, not knowing how to move forward, not knowing how to break the mental and emotional addiction of thinking about this guy 24/7. If that's you, then this message is for you. Go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough or drop a comment down below that says the word breakthrough. Let's have a conversation. You can watch a video, fill out a quick form, book a free call for us to be able to talk, or jump inside one of our challenges, because it won't just shift just because of time, just because of space. It shifts when you decide that you want it to shift. Make that choice today for you. If you're stuck in the confusion, I want to bring you clarity. If you're stuck in the chaos, I want to bring you certainty. Reach out for help. rawmotivations.com/breakthrough.